Next, Mr. Dean will bring Mr. Dean Uthoff, class of 1976, to the front. Dean Uthoff never experienced a state or NCAA tournament during his high school and college playing days, but his remarkable accomplishments did eventually take him to a national stardom 9,000 miles away from Cedar Rapids. Jefferson has had some wonderful big men during the school's basketball history. Larry Baker and Tom Holland, already members of the Hall of Fame, were 6'8" players who performed at high levels. Mike Ivester, 6'9", was an All-Stater and later competed professionally. Uthoff, nicknamed Man Mountain, was a different cat. At 6'11", he presented the Jayhawks a phenomenal inside presence in the early 1970s. He was a rebounding machine, highly effective scorer, and an above-average passer for a big man. Uthoff was a starter for 3 seasons under Coach Colin Williams. He completed his Jayhawk career as an all-time career rebounding leader and second all-time in career points. His 919 career rebounds remain a Metro record, and he is one of 4 Jefferson players in history to score 1,000 points. He scored 1,010. As an example of his domination, Uthoff posted these numbers on back-to-back nights in his senior season. 35 points and 25 rebounds against Dubuque Senior, followed by 33 and 12 against Davenport Central. I've never seen a kid his age, 17, who is so strong, Williams told the Cedar Rapids Gazette during Uthoff's senior campaign. He weighs 220 pounds now, and I think he could pick up another 10 or 15 pounds in college and not slow down at all. Dean averaged 22.2 points and 17.2 rebounds during his senior season as a Jayhawk and was named first-team All-State. The state's prize recruits in 1976 among... My bad. We're supposed to look at the screen. We found a photo. So another game. At the line is Mr. Uthoff. There is somebody else in this photo that is now here at Jefferson. If anybody can recognize who it might be, I'll give you a clue. It's a guy at the post, not for Jefferson, playing from Clinton. It would be our current principal, Mr. Chuck McDonald. There are lots of stories about who is better and who won, but we'll stick with the script at this point. Now I lost my spot. Here we go. The state's prize recruits in 1976 among inside players were Uthoff, Larry Osthorn of Pella, and Chuck Harmison of Ames. Uthoff visited Purdue, Iowa, and Iowa State during his senior season, but the choice quickly became between the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones. Uthoff said he liked both programs but leaned toward Iowa. However, Coach Lute Olson and the Hawkeyes eventually decided to sign the 6'11" Osthorn. Uthoff landed with Lynn Nance's Cyclones. It didn't take long for Dean to make a mark in Ames. As a freshman in the ultra-competitive Big 8 Conference, Uthoff averaged 11.5 points and 11 1/3 rebounds while playing all 27 games in his freshman career. He played in every game his remaining 3 seasons and was a consistent contributor throughout. Uthoff finished his Cyclone career as the school's all-time leading rebounder with 1,233, swiping 22 boards in a game twice. His career averages were similar to his freshman numbers at 11.5 points and 11.4 rebounds. Taken in the 6th round of the 1980 NBA draft by San Antonio, Uthoff went to camp but did not make the Spurs squad. At the urging of former Iowa State teammate Harmison, Dean went to play professionally in Australia, not knowing how long the stay would be. Partly because of his size and partly because of his skills, Uthoff became a national superstar in Australia. Playing principally for the Sydney Kings, Uthoff was a 4-time All-Star in the National Basketball League and, like high school and college, established himself as a dominant rebounder. Uthoff played 12 years in the NBL, scoring 3,755 points and grabbing 3,369 rebounds. He still holds 4 of the top 6 rebounding games in league history, including a record 34 against Hobart in 1984. He led the league in rebounding 3 times. Uthoff quickly embraced Australia and became a naturalized citizen in 1991. Ed Uthoff, Dean's younger brother, who had a terrific basketball career in his own right, recounted this story on a visit to Australia in a story by Mike Haas of the Gazette. Anywhere we went, he was pretty much mobbed. He was on TV commercials. I thought, oh my God, you are a big star. Ed, who was on the Jefferson all-time scoring and rebounding charts, played collegiately at San Jose State. Jared Uthoff, third cousin to Dean and Ed, was Iowa Mr. Basketball while playing at Jefferson. He completed his decorated collegiate career at Iowa, saw action in 9 games with the Dallas Mavericks in 2016 and 17, and now plays professionally in Russia. According to Ed, Dean prefers to keep a humble and low profile in Australia despite his recognizability. Most recently, Dean has served as a specialist teacher in Sydney high schools. Dean and his wife Tracy live in Kenthurst, about a half-hour northwest of Sydney. Presenting Dean's award is his basketball coach, Bob Becker, and accepting on Dean's behalf is his classmate and good friend, Al Wilson.